All right. Hey, have fun. Thank you.
Take care, Drew.
You guys see my screen? That's pie chart.
Yes.
Alrighty. Perfect. All right, guys. Hope you guys had a good weekend. We're gonna start with ES and see what kind of trouble we're in. Okay. A little bit of consolidation and pushback. So let's just go in 30 minutes, see what we're missing. We'll start off with some charts and then we'll kind of decipher a little bit naked trading. If you're struggling a little bit to catch, the green streak, I'll show you how you can actually do that and simplify your chart so that way you don't have a ton on your chart, but still a lot of valuable information. So that way you know which way to trade and take long or short. So after we do this, I'll show you guys how we can do that. So here's the VPOX. Major support here. You guys see this? This is huge level here, 37.78.
Yeah.
This is big here. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6x POC, gray buy zone. And if you turn on, whenever you have something like this, if you turn on the VPVR, watch now. See how that works? I mean, if 6 POCs are lined up to be in the area, there's a high chance the VPVR is going to be in that area as well.
It's right on there.
So, and then we know, man, I keep losing my voice. We know we have a little bit of supply here, and you can tell that by price action as well. So if you look at this, right, you see this little tiny consolidation. So that's your support. That's basically where they're not sure which way the price is going to go. So that usually means heavy volume was traded here before they dumped it down. And then, when you look at when I capture a little bit more here, the next level would be around here, which is, well, let me just hide this, VPVR. This would be our next level here, which is 40.90. And of course, we have the 4,000 level, so I would not ignore that psychologically here. So I would probably put it, even though not much is actually responding to that level, I'll keep it here, 407. Let's see. So we really have to break this shelf here in order to go higher. Yeah, we'll have to break this. I would say.
Do you see that bit of supply at the right around 39.40?
39.40. This right here?
Yeah, like right before it dumped. Right off the top of that candle there.
Yeah, I see this here, but I mean, it wasn't really heavy volume. So you have a VAH here based on this. Sorry. This would be your, I guess, next VAH that you want to be kind of looking at, which is 39.33. Let me see if I got that one right. Maybe a little bit higher. So 39.34 would be the VAH here. And I can see the little bit of supply, what you're talking about. This one here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it has a little bit here. I'll be worried about this one here. Like literally.
Yeah, for sure. I just had that one marked as potential for the next stop.
I think if it breaks that like 39, 30, 40 level, they're guaranteed they're going to go to 4,000, honestly. They're trying to get it out. They're pushing. So then I'll just remove this now that we have, we didn't mark the downside levels. We did. Okay, so this level is pretty big here. So, I mean, if we break that 3,900, then we're really in trouble. I think we'll retest that level. Let me hide this and we'll do some naked channels and see what we got. I'm sure we got something here. Man, what a shit show, a chart. I'll just draw a channel using the channel tool. So that way I'm not cheating. So I'll keep this as my major channel. I got 1 touch, 2 touches. And if we were to come to here, this would be, in my opinion, this would be a really good short right here. No reason not to short here. Does everybody understand why?
Yeah, you spent, what was that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles there in 4 hours?
Yeah, this is 4-hour candle. And you guys see here, you know, if we go off of that SMT or smarter trading news, you guys see this indecision candle here that I grabbed again. It's hitting this supply. I honestly think we're gonna turn around a little bit sooner than 4,000 and maybe take a downturn. I didn't think it would be here, but if we do break the 39.34, I'd go long here.
Shorty, would you go long trusting it overnight?
Oh no. I mean, I would not. I'm not going to trade futures tonight, but if we kind of chop here, let's say we stay in this range tomorrow before we open, then if we open there, I would definitely go long over that level, and I would look to kind of short below this level here. So I think if we are able to break this trend line, then most likely you're going to this 37.80 level, which would be a good little pullback on it. And then just want to check something. See, we should be probably at 61, or it should be 50%. We
It
just
was right around 50.
it seems like we hit 50 on the dot. I mean, you hit it here, trapped, came back, not a single body under. So it would not be shocking if we break this and you come back to that 38.50, which is your 61.8. If you're unable to hold this, then you can easy shorts 37.80. In my opinion, I think this would work pretty well here. And just trying to look, see if I can, because this is a nice channel here too. If you take a look at it, well, it just seems like it's skewed. That's why I love that tool. Can't cheat. Yeah, I would definitely watch this channel here. See where we go. So most likely would find some support here if you think about it, right? So this should be, if you're going to go short, this sounds like the best short because this was your previous higher low as well. Here, and then higher low here, and then now if it breaks this, that'd be a pretty good short. And then while we're on this, especially if there's people trading futures. So most of you by now that have been longer in the Discord, and maybe you learn elsewhere, but the market structure and trading the market structure is so important, right? So that's your higher highs, higher lows, and then, in some instances, you have lower highs. So in this case here, even though this wick went over, I would still consider this to be a lower high from here to here. It's a lower high, right? So when a stock has a lower high and a lower low, like in this case, if you guys look, this was our higher low right here, and then we broke that level, but we quickly reclaimed it, but then we are not able to make a higher high. So we have a lower high and a lower low. This tells you that we are still in what? On a 5-minute time frame, we're doing what? Anyone?
Still going down.
Well, it means that
Bears.
we're in a bearish trend on 5 minutes. You have lower high, lower low. So that means, now if you take this level here, let's say this level right here, I don't know if there's a button to hold, who knows, shortcuts to make this like straight line. Anyone?
Alt J.
Oh, shift. I just pressed shift and I did it. Let me see if that works again. Yep, shift does it. Oh, that's crazy. So now if you think about it, and we have a tool that, Sequence gave you guys. So this is your, higher high, let's say lower high, lower high. This is your higher low. Now we broke it. So this here was your trend reversal. Right here. And as soon as you broke this, I'm trying to, here, as soon as you broke this guy, I would say, why is it not going down? As soon as you broke this guy right here, that confirmed lower high plus lower low, you're in a bearish trend. Now, if you're able to close above this candle right here, whatever time frame you're using, whether you're on 5 minutes or not, that means you're reversing the trend. And then also you have something here, so everybody see it. So you have a little bear flag that's building on this time frame. So if you break this, then you continue down and so on. So you can trade this, and using this rule, the only way you would go along now is if you're able to break this level here or reclaim this, retest, and then go along up to this level. So you're thinking about, not much, 7 points on ES. It's just that there's a lot of selling at this candle until something happens here. So if you guys look, there's a lot of selling in this area right here now. So does this make sense to everyone? Like the lower highs, the structures? Let me make sure everybody's.
Yes.
All right, good. And now you see we're unable to regain that, and now it's in trouble. If it breaks this, then you know that it has this level here, or previous, lower levels here. If you 38.95, and now you watch and play. And same applies to pretty much everything that, every stock you can trade the same way. Pick the time frame you're going to trade it in, whether it's 3, 5, 10 minutes. You can do this pretty much on anything. And for newer people, I do suggest to use ASHI candles just because they take out a lot of noise, and you're not going to be freaking out as much on some minor pullbacks. Well, let's see what we do here. These are the major levels that I would look at on ES for tonight and tomorrow, and potentially the rest of the week. So we have enough downside levels, and we have enough upside levels as well, probably till Tuesday or Wednesday. And I don't know if there's a Fed speaker this week or if it's the 13th of July. Somebody can check in the meantime. Okay, so that's ES. We'll go NQ, see what they're doing over there.
You can drop the calendar, main chat.
All right. Thank you. Let's see what we got. Oh, wow. So house sales. What's interesting there? Okay, so Wednesday is interesting for Germany. Oh, okay. We got crude oil inventories, PMI. Okay, the jobless claims. I don't think they're gonna do much damage. So let's see. Not a super heavy week, but let's see. But personal income, personal spending, that'll be interesting to see. Okay. So with that being said, so here's NQ, and the best thing you can do, when you're charting something like this, pull it up on like 10, 15 minutes, and then just kind of zoom out and see what you're looking at. So here we had a nice channel, and we almost had like a little flag here. Once it broke that VPOC here, we went a little bit higher. So now we also hit the fib here. You guys know how we got this fib? Anyone? Yep. So if this is our triangle here, this is where we got it. So from the high here to the low, that's where we get the fib right here. If you're able to get that, then it gives you a good idea. Anytime you have a triangle like this one here. So this was, an ascending triangle in shape, but not in a trading. So when you have that here, you just grab the high and you grab the low, and it's going to project you some really, really accurate levels and targets. And if you look here, your 1272, it hit perfectly a few times. And now, the 12242 seems to be next if you're going to go higher. So let's see how we do here. Then we'll just check to see if there's anything unusual that we missed. I'll take these fibs off for a second. So at 12,000, we have a VPOC here. And then here we have a little shelf. We can almost take this VPOC away now. So there's a little shelf here that we should pay attention to. That's pretty fresh here. So the red line here is our channel that was there, I believe, on 65 minutes. Yep. We had it on 65 minutes, and it broke out of that channel. And now we're looking to see if we come back to this level of about 11. I would say this is 1186. So if we break this 12,000, 1186 is highly possible here. Break that, and it'd be great if we do it tomorrow, sometime it's midday, around noon. It will line up pretty nice here. So if you're able to break that, come back here, and then it'd be easy. From there, let me just delete some of this. This level here is going to be fairly strong. the same concept here. It looks like almost like an identical chart here compared to the earlier.
It even has that shelf up above if you take a look, zoom out.
On VPVR or?
Now, there was a consolidation zone right there. See, up, just up a little higher.
Oh, this one here?
Yeah, yes.
It looks like almost identical chart. I mean, it looks very, very, to me, it just seems like they want to tap this 12.5. And honestly, I would be, patiently waiting for this 12.5 here because anything that I know about volume profile would tell me to short here. And I mean, look at the shelf here. So it has a little gap here all the way to 12.2, and we are about $100 more, and this could be a hard rejection, or even this one here, if you look at it. If they break that, then 12.25, and then the POC would be somewhere around here for this mini POC at 12.3. I mean, we're not going to get a straight shot, like all the way up. I don't think that's doable, especially with the number of news that we got coming up. Here's another bear flag building here. Did the ES break that bear flag? Almost. Okay, here we go. There it goes. Now it's going to accelerate probably through it. It's the dumpster. Did the shape of the volume profile change in a different time frame? So the shapes usually don't, but the levels do based on the accumulation of the areas within the time frame that you're looking at. So I usually look at them in 30 minutes. Okay, let's take a look at SPY. Man, that was a nasty pump on SPY. So guys, just take a look at this volume profile here. Once you break this 385.73, there's a little bit of stop at 384. You lose this level here, and then you really have a chance for a dump. You guys see the gap here, right? So I would say if you're gonna go long, you really need this level to be passed here, 391.68. And then you have a little bit of room all the way to about 406. I'll play it safe and call it here, 405. Yeah, I don't see the inverse head and shoulders here. I don't know if anyone else does, but this does not look like an inverse head and shoulders to me. That right shoulder is way too low. Way too low, and for me here, it should have held here. So I don't have so many. I should have held at least, that a 61.8 or something around here in order to look like it. So we have a little gap here, just FYI. Our little gap here, yep. On the downside, then we have a little gap here. There's your next level gap that starts 395.78. So this would be your area to go along. And then you have 401 and then 405. I mean, I could see them pushing here because I talked to you guys last time about this. This was the last zone that we consolidated in. If you take a look here. See. So you guys see that? So last time we did that consolidation, we were here and we dropped down from it. So I would not be shocked if we come back to retest that zone, which would line up with this channel as well as the previous kind of consolidation zone. So that would mean that there are some sellers, heavy sellers here. And if you take a look at the volume, it's agreeing with this that, they just dumped it. So, I would not be shocked if in the near future that you come back and you visit this little guy here all the way up here. So it would be around 360-ish, 370 level that we come back and retest. So this level here will be super important because if I was to turn the VPVR here, you guys will see that there's a little shelf here that's based on this price action, all these indecision candles. Hence why that was our go long level here. And then you have 395, so I would keep that level there. If we reject here, and if you lose this 386.47, you can definitely short right below it here. Probably, all the way down. It has a little stop at 384. But I would think that it would revisit this level here, 378. This would be the level it wants to go for. And then you would short it all the way up, if you wanted to go 384, that would be your first exit there, which is this little shelf here. So I'd watch this on SPY, and I mean, last Friday it was so choppy till the end, and I even gave you guys some idea how bad it was. So this move that happened at 10 o'clock and all the way till this candle here, so 3 o'clock, here's the percentage that kind of moved. We moved, let's see, where's this candle? So in between here, so 385, so I would say Hold on, let me delete this. That doesn't make, I'm confused which one I'm grabbing. So from this dip all the way to here, you moved 48 cents, and that was all in the chop. I mean, look at this range here. It was 386.48 to 387.45. I mean, you have to be so precise and quick to trade that. And then the last moment, they kind of ripped it through, and I think it happened across the market. So somebody caught it. That's great, but it's just shitty trading, honestly. It's a lot of luck, too. And we have a really, really good zone here for bouncing. You guys see it? This might be a really strong level here. We have a level here. Yeah, this area here is just going to be very, very strong for shorting, which would make sense for this channel too, that we get a little bounce here at 378, which lines up with this POC here. Okay, let me just check some daily. Does anyone see anything else between? You know, I don't see the inverse head and shoulders, but I do see something else. Let me see if you guys see it now. Do you guys see it now? Say what?
Bare flag.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. I couldn't understand what you said.
Bear flag.
Bull flag. I don't see a bull flag here.
No, bear flag. Bear flag.
Okay, what else? Anyone?
Just regular head and shoulder.
Just a regular head and shoulders, guys. Fairly simple one too. Almost a perfect one here. So if we do stop in here, yeah, fasten your seatbelts because this might be a nasty drop.
Hey, Shorty, when you're doing a head and shoulders on a slope angle like that, you measure from the top of the head to where and how far down. Can you show me?
Yeah, I would measure to the shoulder here, and that's conservative. People can measure also to here, but me, I measure to this inside shoulder here. And that just gives me a conservative target because it's a, slanted head and shoulders. But that's just me personally how I trade.
And then what target point would you think it would go to then?
So the way I do it is if this is my target, right? So if this is my level for it here, which I drew, let me just make this different color so I can recognize it. So for, let's make it purple. So that purple one is my measurement tool. So what I would do is I would grab this to this, which is 8%. And then I would measure from that break, I would measure 8%, whatever that was, 884, which would fall back right here at 127 at 350. And that would be the target that I play for. And you could measure, I don't think there's a definition or you have to do this. Let me see, I just messed up. If you go here to here, you're looking at about 13%. And then you would have to go and figure out once you break this point here, you could go 13% on the break of that line. So if the lowest break of the line is, let's see, if you want to go from here 13%, what was it, 13 to somewhere around here. You're looking at 307. Me personally, I just like this idea first. Then I know the fibs are kind of right there lining up as well. So this is my first, second, and maybe this would be my third here, knowing that 300 is coming up psychologically, right? But this could be a nasty head and shoulders that people are And does anyone? I'm trying to see who else sees an inverse head and shoulders. Is it this maybe that they're seeing? I'm trying to just understand where is it coming from. Is it this that people are seeing?
I'm not sure, but I don't see it.
Yeah, and usually I want an inverse head and shoulders to be really, really in a downtrend, and I don't think we are really in a downtrend just yet. You know, and I look at 3 days, which is for me, it's been a really good level when I'm charting inverse or head and shoulders. I'll show you now. If you look at this one, for instance, so if you measure this guy right here, which is also slanted, right? So you measure this guy to the top, this was 12%. And if you measure 12%, where that was 12.58. I had it. So that would have been somewhere around here, 373, and we went as low as 362. So very close to that trigger that we talked about. So I don't know. I prefer 3 days when I'm looking at it. And here, I personally don't see the inverse head and shoulders. And maybe I'm wrong, right? I mean, potentially wrong. I'm usually wrong, but I just don't see it yet. Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Let me see different time frames. I mean, even here, when I look at it, it just looks a lot cleaner on the head and shoulders than it does on the. Because this is our buyer's exhaustion box here too, so. Yeah, I don't see it. So I would definitely expect this level, and we hit that 50% almost on the dot now that you look at it. Look at that. I mean, okay, so that'd be SPY. Hopefully we don't get this during the day, because this is just, you know, this area here was pretty boring. I mean, think about it. Nothing really gave you a sign that we were gonna rip, and then they had like a flush candle back. I mean, it was just nasty price action. Then the last minute they pump it. So let's remove all of this crap. Look at Qs. What do you guys see here?
Right shoulder forming.
Yeah, I mean,
And shoulders. Yep.
and usually you want head and shoulders to be in an uptrend, right? So what happens here is that, you know, we're in a reversal of the right shoulder, but we're really not super strong uptrend, right? So if you look at something like weekly, you know, this is our, you know, this was our, let's say, left shoulder here, head, then this was our completion of the red shoulder here. You guys see what I'm talking about? So, so what I'm talking about is this left, right shoulder, and then we came back to retest that trend line, which is natural for us to retest it. And here we retested it, and now, you know, you have a chance to continue this down. So
You think it might retest a little bit and then rip down all the way, or continue to go down?
I think we had a decent bounce so far. I just don't know, you know, I just don't get who's buying right now. Like I'm not sure who's buying, who's putting a lot of money into it.
Gotcha.
Going long right now.
The head and shoulders you just pointed out kind of looks like it would have already run its course.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. If you measure it, it would have completed that, if that's what they're going for. But then you just don't know which one is in question now. So if this is, let me kind of make it a little bit bigger. If this was the Head and Shoulders, which wasn't 100% correct, like you didn't have this one here, but you had the right shoulder, well, then you're not, you're not done yet. There's no way this measures to here. So I just don't know, at which point do we consider it done. And what I noticed, if you look at IWM, IWM came back to pre-COVID lows, right? I mean, that's your small cap. That's what drives your country, in my opinion, right? So we came back to the pre-COVID lows. We held that and we bounced. I'll just go to SPX. I'll remove this. This is our pre-COVID low here. So, our low was, where was it? This. So we had another about, let's call it 300 points to drop in order to touch that pre-COVID low, which from the shelf perspective would probably agree here. And you see it right on. Me personally, I don't think we're done. And, I don't know if you guys read, there's another good thread that I read, I think Saturday or Sunday night, don't quote me on the day, but about the swaps on the currencies and how they executed that at 10 a.m. in Canada and actually dropped the VIX a lot. Because usually when you have inflation rates, going up, a lot of uncertainty in a war, VIX should not be this low. Like, it doesn't make sense to be this low. So this tells me the drop that really did not happen yet. Like, we did not get the drop yet. Once we break this right here, you'll see what happens. Like, we're going to get a nasty drop once this breaks here. I don't think we're personally done yet, but let's see. If they're truly going to stop the QE, and tighten the budget, which they haven't done so, then it might get interesting, right? But I just don't see. So if you look here, so maybe we get a little bit more drop here to about 25, and then kind of flip here and look to break, the next level here, which would be, I think it was 36 high, 36.64, and then your previous high right here, it was 35, yeah. So once you break these levels, it's going to go crazy. And it would not be a bad spot to buy some actually puts once we come back all the way to this trend line and play it off of this. And they held this level pretty nicely. And this would be kind of like Head and Shoulders here as well. But then if you look at the weekly on this, one could make a case that this is inverse Head and Shoulders, right? So let's see what happens. I mean, I don't want to predict. I'm just going to play the levels that they're giving us. And I'll watch this trend line here. If you're able to come to it, close to it, about 26 first, and see what happens. So any questions on SPY? I think it's pretty well laid out in terms of the plan. Yep, Qs, let's finish that guy. So Qs here. I don't hedge with VIX. It's just all right, this level's messing with me. So we have 281, and obviously if you guys look here, I'm just going to take away the candles. So just look here from price action standpoint. So you have a lower high, and then you take a higher high here compared to this, and then you basically consolidate it here for a minute. So if you guys look, you basically consolidated here for a second and then you broke this level, it would not be bad, and it would be really healthy if we come back here and they're able to hold this level, 285.22. So let's see. I need to do that. So that might as well be 300 there because it's going to play a role. So I think a break of 295 here, guys, sends it directly to 300. I mean, they might just literally fly. So that's something you should watch here on it. And then if you're able to break this, if they're not able to hold this area, and there's a nice little shelf here. If we break this box here, at any point, there's a high chance you're going to come back all the way to this 285 level. So I would probably bet on that on the long level here or breakout level here. Short here, buy again here. And then you have a little bit of POC and congestion here, 283. Any questions here? I just want to do something else on this one. And we're hitting that ledge too. Yeah, if you're able, you guys see that? This is your monthly to date volume profile. So if you're able to break this, guys, right here, that 295, we have literally open space 300. So do not miss this from 505. So I would definitely watch this, guys. This is probably a good setup for long if we break this level. 295, 300, easy money on that. Okay, let's see, SPX. So this is our month to date POC here, which acted as a super nice support. Have a nice little shelf there. And then pretty much open space all the way to here. So you guys see what it's lining up to be there? Anyone?
Head and shoulders.
Well, head and shoulders, but ideally, if they're able to push it all the way to this 4,000, this would be ideal. Even 40.31, you know, they're able to push it. So it looks like by what 28 would be what Tuesday. So by Tuesday, Wednesday, if they're able to push it up to here, this should be textbook short. This would be ideally textbook short because you're hitting month-to-date value area high. You're hitting top of the channel that you got slapped from multiple times. You know, when you establish the trend line here, you had 1, 2, your third one, your fourth one. I mean, if you tap it in here and you're not able to break this, this would be pretty interesting here. So I would definitely watch that. And then here, of course, you have a month-to-date VAL. And you guys know you can, I mean, this is a fixed range profile like I explained to you guys before. You can even grab this to be your previous week, if you figure that out. 20th till the 26th. So it'll be 21st, right? Because we didn't trade Monday, right?
No.
And look how tight this profile is. You guys see that? Majority of the volume happened here. So they basically, once you broke this level here, it was go time. Value area high here. Once it broke 37.80, once 37.89. Once this broke, I mean, it just exploded from it. And if you guys recall earlier, 37.78 was the level on ES. So we have a weekly VPOC here, which is at 37.65. That's going to pull a lot of weight there. So this is going to be dangerous level. If we reject at any point this, if we can't make it higher, would not be shocked if we visit these fairly quick. Let me just check ES level. I think it was 37.80. Yeah, 37.80 right here. So there's the little, you guys see that? Nice little shelf right here at 4,000. So to me, honestly, it looks like we want to go to 40.90. A little pushback to maybe 38.40 here. And then they really want to go to that month to date, this level here, which should be your value area high. And this would be, honestly for me, this would be the easiest trade probably so far this year at this level here. If they're able to push it here, this is easy money. And it's not that bad, 200 points. They can do it last 15 minutes. Seems like they do it all the time. Okay, let's see. Let's just check some random tickers. Here's AMD. Take a chart of AMD here off of just levels. And if you guys look at AMD on like maybe look at it in 15 minutes, it's gonna look neater. Yeah. I mean, if it breaks this level here, AMD has a little bit of to go. So guys, look here, 87.53. We're consolidating, and you have a 85.82. And downside levels, I would play these here. And then if you look at your upside levels, you would have a little bit of, here you have a little bit of support. So 88 would be the first one. Probably here, 88.68. This is the level we came back to. Then you have 90, which is 90.1. And then you have this little whole zone. This is your supply right here. This is where it might get a little nasty. And then I would check this, confirm it. See if the volume agrees with all this, what I just said. So this, this is our monthly right here. And they would agree with pretty much everything we said. So if you guys look, this goes left. So honestly, this becomes free range here. Once you break this 92, this is easy money right here. Safe bet 94.17. So. But for now, this is your first levels here. Go long. Go short. Okay. No people love meta in this group. All right. I mean, fairly simple. Yep. Break this zone. I would say break this area right here, 178.30. If you're able to break that, you have a high chance to go to a 189 here. This could be setting up for a disaster here. Okay, do you guys see any issues here? If this stock was to break this 178, for instance, it would get slapped so hard at this level right here, the 190, between 187 and 190, it would have really, really hard time getting over this. And if it does, there's a little trap over 190 that would be waiting right here. So this looks pretty good. I mean, if you like trading meta, this looks pretty decent. Probably would wait for this 172.17 to go long on this. Yeah, that'd be my go long level on that. I don't know about shorting yet. It's really choppy and supportive in this area. Okay, Googly hit that VPOC on the dot. So this is my go long level on it now. for me personally, it's very hard to trust some of these levels when they're breaking out like this. Google was here. My ideal level for long was right here, 2136. Right now, I don't have an ideal level to go long on Google. But if this breaks 2369, it looks potentially well and positioned for the round right here. Call it 2500. And me personally, and I'm just telling you guys, this is my favorite spot short. I mean, these levels, honestly, I don't think these levels will surprise you much ever. And you guys see the support that they built here. But look at this shelf that's coming up right here. So just remember this shelf, you know, if you can picture it or take a, you know, snap, like a snappy of it, and just look at this level here. If you're able to break 24, let's say 10, you don't want to get on this level. This is a safer entry to go to 2500 right here. Okay, that's Google. Amazon's approaching 120, and I know it's waiting there. It really has room now to go all the way to 120. There's not much in between. 120, 156. This is our month to date value area high. No one was there. And a lot of these have this double bottom. You guys see it? Single neckline, double bottom. I think I saw it on Tesla too. There goes single, double. You know, if we're able to break that, then we're able to go. But I think 742 is our level for go long on Tesla, all the way to 764 first. And then you have a little shelf here. Yeah, I see it there at 783, which is our VPOC. And then you have a POC here. I did see some crazy flow on Tesla. I think it was Friday for like 1,500 calls or something like that. So if you're able to break this, you know, whatever you want to call it, flag, it might get interesting. You know, if you're able to push all of this, 915 makes like a logical sense where we retest them short at this level, because there's going to be a lot of shorts here piled up. Okay, what other tickers you guys got? Anyone?
Can you do Apple, please?
this was our entry here last time, and they all have identical candles. So like literally all of them have identical candles.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I mean, if it can break the previous day high, which is kind of like right here, 141, call it 142, they honestly have a strong shot at this, what is this, month-to-date value area high. So this would be my go along. This would be the level that I'm looking for. Let me just see what we got on higher time frames. And it looks like it has a nice little trend line down. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This, let me go to 4 hours, cut this in half. I mean, it looks pretty good. If we can break this level here, this would be really easy money on Apple, guys. Nice chart.
Hey, Shorty, would you mind zooming out to on the ES and do the downtrend line? That's like the highest it could hit and still stay in the downtrend, maybe on a weekly or 3-day basis again.
Hold on, I'm sorry, I was not following. Which ticker you want me to look?
S&P 500 ES.
Yeah, hold on, let me finish this one and then we'll talk about that one. Yeah, there's a lot of congestion here at that level. I mean, if things get ugly, this trend line here, this break here would be a nice short. I would use that as an entry on Apple. It's pretty steep here. All right. You said SPX or ES? I'm sorry.
ES.
Wow, look at that bounce.
So I was talking like maybe 3-day chart, pull it way out.
Talking about like this trend line here?
Yeah, the top trend line. I'm just trying to figure out how far up it could go and hit that line.
So to me, it lines up again with that 4,000 level, 4,407. And then if it breaks, set up a trap, it really would have hard time breaking that 4096, in my opinion. It would be super duper hard. Yeah, that I would expect it to come back here, and this would be an ideal spot. I don't know if they went up. Did the futures just go up positive or no? They're still down. I mean, it is very choppy even in 1 minute. Look at that. So now if anyone's trading futures, well, this is setting up to be a nice short here. If they're not able to hold this above it, you could literally short it right here. 3906 breaks, that's an easy short. If you're more risk averse, you'd be shorting here. 3905. All right, guys, I'll be live tomorrow. Whether it's choppy or not, we can use it as a educational. So I'll look forward to it tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, guys, thank you. Have a good night. Stay safe.
Have a good night.